Hello there! This is Nintendo World Report right after playing the Nintendo Switch. A few of us went down to a little nearby restaurant, hotel-y area. We played the Nintendo Switch, we played a bunch of games for the Nintendo Switch, and this is going to be our video talking about our overall thoughts on the system. Later on we also have some specific impressions of the game. But for now, we are going to talk about just our overall experience with the Nintendo Switch. I'm Alex Kalafi, joined by Justin Berube and Jared Rosenberg. And as the host, I don't want to be the one to sort of put a tone on this conversation. Although I suppose me saying that sort of puts a tone on this conversation. Normally I would start with you, Justin. But Jared, what were your overall impressions on the Nintendo Switch event?
Hey guys, so Alex, I didn't get to play as much as you guys. I was doing a lot of videotaping, but I did see all the games. I'm still excited enough. I have to admit, it didn't meet my expectations exactly. That's a mix of both the event and what we saw today. Zelda, the demo they had on display was basically the exact same demo I saw at E3. Zelda's great. Zelda's going to be amazing. Footage-wise, though, Zelda on Switch looks exactly like Zelda on Wii U. I know we were hoping it might look a little better. We learned today, I saw online, that Zelda on Switch is going to run at 900p, which is better than 720p, which I think is what the Wii U version will be, but still not exactly, not PlayStation 4, Xbox One quality. Here, I've gone on a stray. Here, Justin.
The event itself, I was a little disappointed with. It was jam-packed with people, and it was just hard to get to play everything we wanted to get to play. But some of the games we got to play were a little disappointing because they are ports of games on Wii U, so it doesn't really justify the purchase to Nintendo Switch unless you didn't get the Wii U, which is most people. But for us who covered Nintendo during the Wii U era, it was just a little disheartening to see that, because we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is Mario Kart with a new battle mode. That's all they really showed off special to that.
And the battle mode only had bombs in it as a usable
Actually,
item.
I played it again, and they had all the items in the next round it did. So that may have been a special mode somebody turned on. So there are all the items in the battle mode, but one time we did play it, it was just bombs. So I don't know if that's a special feature you can turn on, or you could select which items appear. But the battle mode, I guess, might be optimized for online, which is what we were talking about, where it's not where you die if you lose all your balloons in this one. It's time-based, and whoever hit the most other people wins. So it's more score-based, which completely changes the dynamics of the battle mode from previous games to be more offensive than defensive, which is a big switch-up, in my opinion. Switch-up.
That's pretty good.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. But, and then you have Breath of the Wild, which we have Wii U's. We don't need it for it. The one thing I will say about Switch is it is going to fit my lifestyle better, being on the go and moving around. I don't have to be glued down at home in front of a TV with the console in order to play my games anymore, which is what I'm excited for most with the platform. So the games I'm hoping will come, but some of what we saw today were just ports, which is disappointing.
I'm glad I gave it to you guys first, because I did not want to lead this video by saying that the Switch experience was actually a disappointment. And from our conversations beforehand, I think we're all differing extents of sad about what we played. And I say this as someone who, if you see my Twitter from last night, but I'm guessing it'll be a different point in the past, when they did the Nintendo Switch presentation, and I was so excited. SMT, No More Heroes, Splatoon sequel, Mario, Zelda trailer that looked good, all that stuff. I was actually really positive, maybe more positive than other people on this. And now that I finally got to play Switch, I'm kind of bummed by it. Not just Zelda, but basically every game we saw looked like Wii U footage. Like, it looked like Wii U visuals, but with slightly smoothed out edges. Like, it doesn't look as super aliased as the Wii U would look when you would play it up close. Part playing, the Joy-Cons feel like slightly better, more simplified Wii remotes. The screen I was actually impressed by. I think the screen looks sharp and it looks great, and I'm very happy with that. But visually, it's not much of a stunner, and there are aspects of the controller I'm not very happy with. The L, Justin as well. The L and the R buttons, like the L1 and R1 buttons, they don't click very well. Like they click very fast and they're too small, so they don't feel very good. And then the ZL and ZR, the L2, R2, those don't have the same trigger-like effect as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So those don't quite feel as good either. The buttons feel like 3DS, and I'll leave it to you, Jared.
I was just going to say quickly with the triggers. I mean, Nintendo has been doing that for every system since the GameCube. They just haven't delivered on the triggers. The triggers were amazing on the GameCube, but yeah. We don't even know. So was GameCube Virtual Console officially announced?
I don't think so.
No. It has not been announced as of this very moment. Getting back to what I was saying, screen looks good. Joy-Cons are pretty good. They're better than you think they would be. The rumble on the Joy-Cons is actually pretty cool. Justin and I, you're going to see the video footage of us like milking an udder and 1-2 switch. You can actually feel it.
I'm going to put that here right now. Look at this footage.
Yeah. Don't look at that footage.
You can see Justin and me wearing cow hats. I'm a simple farmer's girl. He's a big boy, and it's a pretty good time.
I do want to speak about the controller a little.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
All right.
Go ahead.
One thing that was bothering me was when you use the Joy-Cons, on the system or in the grip. It was hard for me. It didn't feel comfortable or natural to use the right stick. It felt kind of out of place. It didn't feel natural compared to other controllers Nintendo's put out. And I still am disappointed there's no D-pad on the Joy-Con. I understand why they did that for certain games, but for right now, if like a platformer comes out on Switch, I'm going to have to bring a Pro controller with me because I want that D-pad. And another thing with all the buttons is they do seem pretty small, and the buttons are very clicky, just impressions there.
3DS buttons.
Yeah, I think it's even clickier than that. Even the D-pad on the Pro controller felt clicky to me too, more than usual. So that's something to keep in mind there.
Yeah. The plus and minus buttons, which are now like in the start and select, those are in the top corners of the controllers. Those feel okay, but they feel like they're in a weird place. The clickiness is definitely noted. And then, so the... What's that called? The Joy-Con... Not the Joy-Cons themselves, but the thing the Joy-Cons... The grip. The Joy-Con Fun Grip is not that comfortable to hold, if I'm trying to be completely fair.
I thought it was comfortable to hold, and it was very light, I will say that. But yeah. I just don't like the placement of that right stick. It bothered me.
But that's the main controller. That's not the Switch, like dock itself that you're supposed to play on a TV. That's the one you get included with the system, not the Pro controller, which felt great, by the way. It was playing Splatoon with the Pro controller was great. But this is the controller you get in the box that you're supposed to play on the TV, is that square thing. And that thing is what you choose between that thing, the DualShock 4, and the Xbox One controller. And, like, even if it's okay, it doesn't even compete.
With the actual Joy-Cons, probably not, just because of that stick placement I said is uncomfortable. But I do think the Pro controller is very comfortable. And if you're serious about gaming and you get a Switch, I think you need to get the Pro controller to get a full gaming experience out of it.
Yeah. Oh, were you trying to?
No, I agree with you guys. The Pro controller is great. The $70 Pro controller is great.
The price is not great.
The $90 Joy-Cons are less great.
Yeah, I'm going back to what you were saying about playing 2D games. I was using a Joy-Con to play Sonic Mania, and I was just holding it sideways, and it's weird playing a Sonic game with an analog stick like that. It's not comfortable. I wish there was a D-pad.
And I like whatever, like we're talking about this, like we're being honest and all that stuff. But if anyone watching this is like, oh, they're just being negative haters on Nintendo, all of us went in extremely excited to play this. You're the King Nintendo fanboy, so you want to love everything Nintendo.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just a big Nintendo fan.
But
I will criticize when it's necessary.
But you are the fanboy among us three, and there's no shame in that. That's your role in this. Jared is an extremely positive individual, which I would say is fair to say.
Yeah.
And even though I may be more critical from time to time, I was one of the most positive people I know coming off of the event last night. So I think we all wanted to be excited, but between the controller not feeling the best, between the visuals looking like Wii U visuals, between most of the games, Splatoon 2, we're going to talk about it, you're going to see my words on it. That game is awesome, but it also feels like a half step above the first Splatoon outside of some. Mario Kart 8 doesn't feel like a new game. It feels like the port that it is. Like the Inkling Boy's cool, but only because you're racing as the Inkling Boy, not because of his racing.
Yeah, we didn't get to try any of the new tracks in Mario Kart. The only new thing in the demo today was the battle mode.
And characters.
And yeah, but I feel like the characters don't really matter in Mario Kart. It comes down to tracks more than anything. Tracks are the real characters of Mario Kart.
And I did play Breath of the Wild, but it's the same footage that I saw last E3. And I play a lot of open world games, and Zelda was good, but it didn't light up my world necessarily. In conclusion, if we're gonna say anything about this, I'm still gonna keep my pre-order for the Switch, because right for Nintendo World Report, and also I saw a lot of cool games. Travis Touchdown's coming back, which is sick. We got Shin Megami Tensei, which is sick, and all this other stuff. But I got to play a new Nintendo system as one of the first people in the world who gets to play a new Nintendo system, and I came away less excited, which is really sad to me. And I hope they figure it out. I hope Nintendo figures it out. The thing's even better at launch. It picks up. Everyone loves it. It sells a boatload, but it also deserves to sell a boatload and all that stuff. But you put it great yourself, Jared. Like, we came out of that, and I'm like, so what'd you think? And you're like, I'm kind of scared.
That's true. I'm a little frightened. I'm hoping Nintendo...
I said scared.
I'm, scared and frightened. Pretty similar, but yeah, I guess frightened's a little worse. Nintendo still has time to fix things. I will say one thing. Being able to play Zelda Portable, being able to play it on the subway, that's where I'm most excited. And, this kind of event isn't exactly the best way to experience that because we're stationary. They did have a setup where you could pretend you're on an airplane, but
hold on, let me say something real quick. The off-screen play is awesome. I will say the HD rumble is awesome. The off-screen stuff is awesome. That stuff you should still be excited for. That's a positive thing. Keep going.
Yeah. So off-screen is where I think this will be best because we may have already played Mario Kart 8, but I haven't played Mario Kart 8. On a train or on the International Space Station. So, things could be okay.
Yeah, this is going to be a great system for astronauts. So they're going to actually be able to play console games up there pretty easily now. But, aside from that nonsense, I have this to say about the Nintendo Switch. The launch, I don't think, is too exciting outside of Zelda, just because people like us can play most of the early games on Wii U. But I think the future is where we have to look. I mean, by the end of the year, things could be completely different as far as new games go. We could have a new Smash Brothers, which is rumored. We could have all sorts of new games we don't know about. And having Zelda on the go is something huge with the system, like you were saying too, Jared. Because, it's hard for me to just sit down and play console games these days because I'm busy, I'm going different places. So being able to take my console with me easily without lugging the cords around and the hard drive on Wii U because I have so many frickin' games, it's going to be great to be able to do that. So even though the first couple months that we know about may not be too exciting for Nintendo fans already on the system, I think we need to start looking at what the future holds, and Nintendo really needs to tell us why we should be excited outside of the updated ports that they've announced now, or games we can get when they come out on a system we already own. So I'm looking toward the future. I think it could be bright with games like Super Mario Odyssey. That looks like a lot of fun. But for now, I think unless you're a diehard Nintendo fan or you didn't get to play these games or you don't have a Wii U, you might want to hold off till there's a larger library of games you're looking forward to.
And to end this on an optimistic note, I have four words for you. Travis Touchdown is back. Thank you very much for watching. Jared, Justin, Alex, signing off.